Hi guys, and welcome to All About the Philippines. Now today I'm going to talk about being robbed in the Philippines last year and the lessons that I've learnt from that experience. So I've had a good 12 months now to reflect upon this man here in this picture who while we were at dinner just downstairs from there came into our resort room and robbed us. Now this was CCTV, where in the CCTV it actually showed him coming out of our room and putting my wife's phone and other things in his pockets before coming out to the balcony there where he is right now. Our room's probably a bit just behind there, probably just a metre or so behind him, and he's clearly looking to somebody else downstairs to give him the all clear to go and make a getaway. So the things that we learnt from that experience was where we went to was a place called Sea of Dreams Resort in Cabot, La Union in the Philippines. Now we had booked that room probably 6 months prior to going for a period of 9 days. And it looked very nice. The rooms looked okay. They weren't flash, but they looked okay in the pictures, and the gardens around the resort looked very, very nice. It was quite picturesque. So when we actually got there, it all seemed okay. There was a bit of a problem with the owner trying to tell us we had to shift into another room after a couple of days because they were overbooked, and so that was the start of our problems there. And that should have been a red flag straight away to me to be thinking, well, I've booked this for 6 months now. She's trying to put us into this tiny little room, and it was literally a very small room. Probably I call it like a little storeroom, and it had just one bunk bed in there. So that was probably the start of the warnings. But the thing that I really should have done, and I've learnt from that experience, is as soon as you get into your room, check the doors and windows to make sure they're all secure. Now I'm going to put a video up there now. You'll see a video come up. It's about when we were robbed over there. It's showing the actual door where they got in, or where this guy got in, and the door was very, very flimsy. You can see a big gap between the latch and the door and all that sort of thing. When the police came, they actually said that this door was not safe at all for a resort. It was terrible. You wouldn't even put it on your garage in your own house, the back of your own house. So the police were very critical of the owners and this particular door that was on our room. So I would certainly, next time, I would certainly be checking the windows and doors as soon as I've got there to make sure they are secure. And if they're not, I'd be asking to go to another room where it's more secure. And if none of their rooms are secure, then that's a big red flag. I would certainly then be asking for a refund and go to another resort. And even if they refuse a refund, I'd probably still cut my losses and go to another resort, find somewhere that's got more safety around the rooms. The other thing too is look for security around the perimeter of the resort or the motel. Look to see that there's the hotel or the resort has gates and fences. So and if they've got gates, what time do those gates lock at night? And if they've got security people there out front to make sure that nobody comes in and out of that resort who's not a guest. Now this place at the Sea of Dreams Resort, people were just coming in and out at will. There was no one checking anybody to see if they're guests or not through that front gate. And that's where this guy clearly came in, through the front gate. So another thing I really learned was never leave any valuables in your suitcase. Even in our case, we had our suitcase there which had TSA locks, and the cases were locked, totally locked. But I found out later these guys are professionals and that they know how to get into those locks. There is ways they can do it. And you can search YouTube and you'll see how to get into TSA locks. And this guy's obviously done that, because when we've come back to our room, we didn't know anything was missing. Because the bag was locked back up again. It wasn't until I've opened the bag and got into the inside there and saw that when I was looking for the money, because we just had dinner and I wanted to get some money to give to the owner to pay for the food, that I realised the money was gone. Then I've looked in my wallet there, what was in that bag is gone. And so I've gone down and told them straight away, and my wife's come back up to the room and found out her bag had the same problem when she had things stolen out of her bag. So a big lesson there is don't leave it, even if you think it's secure and locked in your TSA bag, it is not. It is not secure. So even safes, you know, often you get room safes, that sort of thing. The only time I'd use a room safe is if I can put my own combination into that safe. So they can clear the combination and you put your own in. That's the only time I'd use it. If they give you a combination to use, then it's not safe, because someone there knows how to get into it. The only time I would use a safe in a hotel or a resort is if I can put my own combination in that only I know about. So sometimes those safes can give you a false sense of security. So make sure that you put your own code in for that safe. Now, the big thing I probably learnt was that when we had all this problem, and we were quite upset about it, understandably so, and we ended up going to the police. My wife suggested we go to the police and get them to help us to get a refund of some sort out of the owner, because he wasn't going to give us a refund for the 6 days that we didn't use. Now, we did go and see the police, and thankfully they were pretty good. But the thing is, in the Philippines, they could have been corrupt. We don't know. They could have been in with the owners. They could know the owners. We don't know. We could have got ourselves in a lot of trouble just by going to the police. What you do in your country is totally different to how things can work in the Philippines. So on reflection, that was probably not the smartest thing to do. But even though it did work out well for us, because the police contacted the owner, we had several meetings with the owner before the owner agreed to refund us our last 6 nights stay there, plus an extra 10,000 pesos for, you know, what he called inconvenience, rather than him being neglectful in that the room wasn't safe. So we ended up getting about 16,000 pesos, I think it was, through him from the police. But the other thing that could have happened, and can happen in the Philippines, is that the owner could have taken exception to us going to the police, and he could have hired a few people, or he could know a few people who could come looking for us and, you know, give us a hiding, or maybe even worse. You know, their own justice in the Philippines takes place sometimes. So, you know, when I reflect back to that, I really think that if anything like this happened again in the Philippines, I would just cut my losses, get out of there and go. But even before that happens, I'd really be checking that room out, as I said, you know, make sure that it's safe and secure. Do my own inspections of the place as soon as I get there, and if something doesn't feel right, then, you know, leave that place. That's my advice anyway, guys. So I hope that my experience in the Philippines last year getting robbed has helped you guys somewhat. I hope this never happens to you, and I hope you can avoid this happening to you by watching this video and maybe picking up a few tips about that. So if you've got any comments about, you know, if you've been robbed in the Philippines, or you got any general comments on the video at all, put them in the comments below, but always be respectful, of course. Don't forget to share this video around with all your networks, and of course don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get more videos. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Take care, and bye for now.